What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Natural Roots Outdoor YouTube channel. I'm joined here today by Miss Riley. Her breath is smelling extra good today. It's about the only info I can give on that. But so this is going to be the first video installment on dog days of summer. This is just going to basically be a little training series. Going to go over a couple things that I've personally worked on with Riley. I've always seen a bunch of people spend thousands and thousands of dollars working with their dogs. Well, other people working with their dogs, and that's not me hounding on them by no means. Everybody's got their own thing, but personally, if you're like me, one, you ain't got a whole lot of money, and two, you ain't really got a whole lot of money, so the only other option you have is do it yourself. Credit goes out to checking out YouTube, reading books. Mr. Freddie King, if y'all want to go back and check out some of his YouTube videos, he's got a whole entire duck dog series. Started with the dog, itty bitty little puppy. You get to see that puppy grow all the way up to an adult, all the way up to a year, and see all kinds of different things that that dog ended up learning. Great video series. That's pretty much the bread and butter that I ended up using for Miss Riley here. Why are you so shy? Huh? It's okay. It's okay. But also read a couple different books that my grandfather's given me over the past year or two. Miss Riley here, she just turned 2 a couple months ago. She's about to turn 3 in about probably, I don't know, what'd you say, 7, 8 months, somewhere around in there. So the downside to this series is she's not a puppy. She is 2, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to explain, the puppy things to do, but I will, give a verbal explanation on different things to do on those scenarios if you are starting out with that puppy. But to be honest, other than just the basic house commands and whatnot, Riley really didn't start her duck dog training until after she was a year old. So she's kind of a late bloomer, but that's more or less my fault, is what it is. But she's been on 2 goose hunts so far, and she did a really, really good job. The first goose hunt, didn't really know what to think about that bird. But after the second or third one, she was chasing after him 100, about 50 yards, somewhere in between there, picking them up, bringing them all the way up to me. And the very next weekend we went out, we shot 12. She picked up every single one and brought them back to us. So she did a really good job. But this is going to be her first official start of the season. We're talking early spec, regular duck, all the way into the late season, and to the snow goose conservation order that we have here. So we're all really excited to see how she does. So basically, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go back to the basics. I might go ahead and post another video later on without her, just kind of a sit and chat type video about, your basic house commands. You got your sit, getting them used to water, getting them acclimated to that, getting them used to bumpers and all that other fun stuff. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the first main thing that you want out of your pup: keeping them at heel on a leash. So we're going to kind of see how this goes. She's a little bit hit or miss with that. So, but she's a darn good dog. She does what she can, and I'm trying to keep my patience with her because she's ornery, that's for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and get her hooked up to the leash and kind of show y'all what we're looking at. All right, so here we are, going to start with training your pup on how to heel. We're going to be starting off on a leash. If your dog's a little bit crazy, you can go with the option on a choke collar. That's what I had to do for the first couple little steps, but she doesn't need it now, so we're just going to run the leash and the collar. I'm going to get her hooked up on the lead. We're going to do a little bit of walking around, and I'm going to have to set the mic down. That way you're not hearing all the crunching going on in the grass. So basically what's going to happen, I'm going to keep her on my left side, just like so. I'm going to have my right hand holding onto a piece of the lead, left hand almost all the way down by her collar, just depending on how big your dog is, but you kind of want to have your hand almost right there on top of her collar just to help keep that tension. And so basically, we're just going to kind of cruise around. Going to be turning left, turning right, applying just a little bit of pressure. Like I said, with that choke collar, it helps apply that pressure. You're not trying to choke that dog out. You're not trying to just completely rip on them, but you do want to give them a little bit of a tug just to help them kind of sit. So, like I said, it's going to be a little bit difficult to, demonstrate the issues and the problems that you can have with training like this, since she has already done this training before, but she ain't perfect. So there might be some hiccups. There may not be. You never know. So I'm going to go ahead and get her hooked up and give y'all a little demonstration. All right, so we're inside right now, going to do the voiceover on this microphone. It's going to be a lot better for this. So right here, go ahead and give him a little hip bump, tap him with the knee, get him to sit pretty. It's always your main thing. Go ahead and hook up that lead right there in the right arm. Hold the remaining length of the lead, and that left hand needs to pretty much stay on top of their collar just to apply that tension. You're not trying to rip their head off or anything crazy. Whenever you are walking with them, try and do tight turns at first, but if they don't respond well to it, you can start to kind of make those turns a little bit more wider. Just kind of be patient with it. Always going to start off with your left foot, okay? And on your right foot, that is where you're going to step in front of them to tell them to stay. So with your left foot, we're going to go ahead and start off with our walk. And we're just going to keep that tension right there. Like I said, it's been quite a while since she has been on a leash, but it's always good practice. It's a good thing that we're kind of going back to basics. So try and play around with them turns a little bit, keep that tension, don't rip their head off. You see how that tail's tucked right there, she's not enjoying it. So kind of give them a little tug backward, say sit, give them a little pet, tell them they're doing a good job, and make sure they're sitting pretty. Go ahead and give them a little tug. Start off with that left foot again. It ain't a race, not trying to get first place or anything like that. We're just taking it nice and slow, just kind of getting them used to everything. Just little tugs, not trying to choke them out. Whenever she was a pup, I did have to use the choke collar. The leash and the regular collar was not enough. So play around with going left, going right, keeping them right there on your heel. You want their body to almost be brushing your knee the entire time. Coming to the end right here, gonna go ahead and she's gonna sit down real nice and pretty, get her unhooked. I messed up right there, should have stepped with the other foot, but regardless, I will see y'all back in the video. Alrighty, so basically, as y'all could see, that first little turn that we did right there, she kept wanting to pull away. Normally, whenever we come outside to work, she's chasing dummies. So this is a little bit different for her, but it's always good to go back to basics just to remind them. Really, the only reason why I could see heel as being a good thing to start off with your duck dog, whenever you're at the ramp, whenever you're in the woods, anywhere around other people, in public, you just never know. You want them to listen to you. You want that, to them to understand that you are the commander, that you have full reign over them, no matter who says what. Keeping them by your side. It's always nice to not have to have a shot collar or a lead at all times. 9 times out of 10, she's perfectly fine. I mean, we don't go to Walmart or nothing like that, but still, it's always nice to be able to go outside, do whatever you need to do without having to have that lead on. So basically, we just kind of cruised around a little bit. Whenever you take your turns, try and take them wide. You don't want to expect your dog to make that super tight turn with you. If you watch a lot of competition videos and these $10,000 pups, they can do it, don't get me wrong, but this is just what I've done. This is what works for me, what's worked for her. She may not be perfect, but I'm not either. So this is going to go ahead and wrap it up for our first installment. Basically, just heel and sit. And on the next video, we're probably going to go ahead and work on just a couple basic retrieves, just some very simple stuff, getting them used to the bumpers and all that other fun stuff. So this is going to wrap it up for us. Is it, Riley? You have anything to say? She's shy. It's okay. Alrighty. We'll see y'all on the next one.